So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think the voice is clear today. Yeah, you can hear me all okay. First of all, before I'd like to start today's lesson, I would like to just thank you all for coming for the last class today. And I would like also to thank Mr. Muhammad Aitishu and his brother Abdullah Aitishu, who are really doing great job. Yeah, if I'm really taking pain to deliver these English classes, and yeah, well, Si Muhammad and Abdullah are doing even great efforts, you know. For example, for me, I just take like 2 hours, for example, each Monday or whatever, to deliver my English class, and that's all. But Muhammad and Abdullah and other teachers as well, but mainly Muhammad and Abdullah are doing, you know, great effort, you know, like I don't know, like staying for the whole day dealing with the program of the classes, and you know, helping, you know, like now monitoring every class, you know, and you know, sometimes there are like 3 classes every day. So I actually should be thankful to those people, you know, more than they should be thankful to myself, you know, because they are doing a great job. I don't do much actually, but they do more. I would also like to thank you all for coming today. As Muhammad has just said, yes, it's really sad that I'm going to deliver the last class today, the last class of the virtual extra classes for baccalaureate students, and I hope well, it's going to be the last for this year, but it's not going to be the last forever, inshallah. So I'd like that I hope you understand. You will understand the lesson today, and I hope you will do a good job, and you will do well on the exam. We all wish you success, actually. We should all of us be thankful to Forback Association and forums, because those people are doing great job. I'm very proud of them, actually, you know, and because I have been seeing them working, you know. I have been visiting Muhammad at home, and every time I go there I find them dealing with the staff, you know, Forback, every time working on this. So we actually should thank them very much. And the thing I would like you to do is what? Is to spread the word of Forback among your friends. Talk about, this is the thing you can do for Forback, okay? We are doing this for free. If you would like to thank Forback, is by spreading the word, the news of Forback among yourself. Try to make it like popular there, everywhere you are, in your neighborhoods, in your cities, wherever. Try to talk about Forback, so other people would know about it, and other people would enjoy it, because we are not dealing only with this year, but we are dealing also with the next year, inshallah. We'll keep doing the same job, and even a better job for the coming year, inshallah, and for the coming generations. I think that's all. I don't want to stay more on that, and thank you for listening. We'll start today I'd like to start with the future perfect, since I promised you yesterday to go through the future perfect before going through the passive voice. Well, today, last time we studied or we worked on the past perfect simple and past perfect continuous. Today we are going to see the future perfect, which is very important as well. You know, you have it also in the exam, but it's not a very difficult lesson. On the contrary, it's very simple. All you need is just to be careful, to be focused on the lesson, and everything is going to be all right. So my voice is clear so far, right? Okay, great. I'm just trying to to choose the colors that I'm gonna use to circle and stuff. So the future perfect, we'll start with the forms today. The forms, as with every tenses we have been seeing so far, we have the affirmative form, the negative form, and the question form. When you deal with every tense, you should know all these forms. The affirmative form, the negative form when you have not, the question or the interrogative form when you give a question. So for the future perfect, for the affirmative form or affirmative structure, you start with subject, then plus will have. Okay, we have will have, like you say it on the, it's the modal, the auxiliary. Then we have the past participle. Okay, past participle of the main verb. Of course, you have in the sentence, right? Then of course you have the subject. This is the form of the affirmative form of the future, affirmative form of the future perfect. Subject plus will have plus past participle. And you have to know that with will have does not change; it remains the same regardless of the subjects. Negative, we have subject, we have will not have plus past participle. Okay, here we added will not. Actually we have here not, right, because it's negative. Question, again we have what we call subject inversion. Have it, no, in negative form it's will plus not. Okay, not will, no, will not, right? Will not, or the short form is won't, as Sumia has just said. So will not have or won't have. Question here, will plus subject plus have plus past participle plus the question mark, of course, right? Yes, right. So will, it comes in the first position, the first place, then subject, then have, then past participle. This is the form of the a question, actually. If the subject was he or she, it will. No, okay, Kira, no, we don't change will. Okay, it remains as it is. It stays as it is. There's no changes. There are no changes, actually. Will stays there, whatever, regardless of the subject. Let's move on to the use. This is very important. When do we use? Yeah, Hafid, do you have a question? Right. Yes, I'm waiting for your question. Hafid, if you have the mic, you can talk. Future continuous. Here we are talking about the future perfect. Hafid, this is future perfect simple. Okay? Future perfect simple. Later on, I'll try to mention something about the future perfect continuous. So you can have this document on Forback website. Can we say we have not played football tomorrow? Well, then we'll see the examples, right? Ferris will plus have been plus past participle. This is future. Yeah, this is not future continuous. This is not future perfect continuous. Just don't be in a hurry. I'm going to explain everything, right? Please try to avoid the chat room unless you have an important question, right? Just let me explain everything and everything will be clear. Okay? So thank you so much. Thank you for your understanding. So let's move on with the use. Future perfect is used to express an activity that will be done, right? An activity that will, let me choose a color here. Right, okay, hold on. So here it is, okay? It is used to express an activity that will be done or finished. before another time or event in the future. This is why we use the future perfect, right? Future perfect is used to express an activity that will be done and finished before another time or event in the future. For example, here we have a situation in here, then sentence with future perfect, then explanation. Well, situation is like this. I will go to California in May. I will talk to you in June. I will go to California when? It's in May, right? And I will talk to you when? In June. When will I go to California? It's in May, sorry, in May. When will I talk to you? It's in June, right? So we have an activity or an action that I'm going to do in May, and there is another activity or an action that I'm going to do in June. So two activities which are going to be done in the future. Okay? Here in the second section of the table or of the chart, we have a sentence with the future perfect from this situation. By the time I talk to you, I will have gone to California. Okay? By the time I talk to you, I will have gone to California. Well, when I'm done with this, you can then write your questions. Okay? When I'm done with the explanation, you can write down your questions. But while I'm explaining, it's better not to write. Okay? Nothing, because you are disturbing me and you are disturbing other students as well, and you are wasting much time. Okay? So the situation here, as I said, I will go to California in May. Let me circle this. So this is an action here. I will go to California in May, right? Good. This is action, let's say 1 or something like that. Then we have action number 2. Those actions are going to be done in the future. But of course, one action is going to be done before the other one. I will go to California in May. I will talk to you in June. So the first action is what? Going to California in May. The second action is I will talk to you in June. Here is the sentence now. By the time. And pay attention to this, because we often use by the time with the future perfect. Okay? Here it is. I'm going to make it clear. By the time, right? By the time I talk to you, it means in June, I will have gone to California. I will have gone to California. Okay? By the time I talk to you, I will have already gone to California. It means before I talk to you, I was there, or I will be there in California. Explanation here. In other words, when I talk to you, I will have already gone to California. It means I will not talk to you before I go to California. No, I will talk to you after I go to California, right? When I talk to you, it means in June, I will have already gone to California. Let us see this timeline once again. Here is a timeline to help you easily understand it. Timelines are very important for understanding tenses. Timeline of events of above situation. Okay, this is timeline of events. This is now, the present, like today. This is May, it's in the future. This is June, again in the future. In May, I will go to California, as I said. In June, I will talk to you, right? This is a sentence with future perfect. by the time I talk to you, it means in June I will have gone to California. Okay, so by the time I talk to you in June, right, I will have already in California. Okay, this is the other one. I'll try to circle it. I'll choose a color. So this is for the one of May. This is the one of, sorry, I'll try to make bigger to cover all the, right, okay. So here I said by the time. This is the time expression we use with the future perfect. By the time. Okay? By the time I talk to you, I will, it means by the time I talk to you in June, I will have gone to California, and this is the future perfect. Here it is. I'll try to highlight. I will have gone to California. Okay? So it means I will go first to California, then I will talk to you. It means going to California is the first action, is going to be finished, is going to be done before talking to you. Here it is. This action, going to California, is going to be finished, to be done, to be completed before the second action starts, which is talking to you. Right? Good. Do you have any questions so far? Yes? Concern this? Let me get your questions before we move on. If you have any questions. Sumia, did we always what out by I couldn't understand your question. Can you say it once again? Yahya, if you want to understand, just try to be focused with us, okay? Everything would be clear. And if you don't understand something in particular, you can ask. Right? Ayub, what does it mean future perfect in Arabic? I don't know in Arabic, okay? I don't know. I'm not good at Arabic, but I can't say that in Arabic. Well, like you said, mustaqbal tam, but I don't know if it exists in Arabic or not. I think it exists, but I'm not good at that. Sumia, did we always out by the time before? There's something wrong with your question. Try to write once again. Aminox, please. Okay, yeah. Well, okay. I try to use Arabic from time to time. Right, okay, we want to know the exercises in the Baccalaureate. Okay, can you explain in next tutor of wishes? Hey, time. Okay, wishes, I think if we have time, we'll do that. If you don't, because today the schedule is for future perfect and passive voice. I don't know if we even have time to do that. By the time mean في الوقت الذي أكون فيه سأكون. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like this. Okay. Mr. Mohammed, okay, thank you. Because most of the students, I don't know, they are like confused. So the next step is here. When I talk to you in June, the second event, this is the explanation of the timeline. I will have gone to California. The future event, that will be completed before I talk to you. So when I talk to you in June, it's the second event. After what? After the first event, which is here. I have gone to California. I'll try to make clear. I would have gone to California is the first event, right? Okay, Sir Muhammad, thank you. So this is the first event. Then this is the second event. I'll try to circle it. this one. I will talk to you. So in brief, if you have two actions in the future, the one which is going to be finished before the other one should be or must be conjugated in past and future perfect. You can compare future perfect sometimes with the past perfect for more understanding. I said before that we use the past perfect with the simple past, right? When we have two actions in the past, the first action is conjugating the past perfect and the second one is conjugating in the simple past. It's almost the same with the future perfect. You have two actions in the future. The first one to be finished or to be completed before the second one is in the future perfect, and the second one in the past. In the the second one is only like this in the present. Okay, when I talk to you in June, right? Like this. When I talk to you, let me circle it here. It's not future. Yeah, okay. Even if it's in the future, but we don't use the future structure. When I talk to you, or by the time I talk to you. You can mention here. Okay, you can pay attention. Sorry, here. Okay, when I talk to you, even by the time I talk to you, it means in the future, but we don't use the future here, right? By the time or when with present, simple present. Then here we use future perfect. So how do you form the future perfect? This is the question now. We suggest that when you are learning to make the future perfect, first think of two future events. That's what I have been saying so far. First, think of two future events that will not happen at the same time. Of course, they are not going to happen at the same time. Let me circle it. This is very essential. Okay. So, let me read again. So, how do we form the future perfect? We suggest that when you are learning to make the future perfect, first think of two future events that will not happen at the same time. They will happen in different times. Using the following two events, let's make a timeline as well as we did above. Let's try to make a timeline like this one. Okay? For example, let's say our two future events are. We have two future events here as examples that will happen or will occur in different times. At 4 p.m. I will see a doctor. At 6 p.m. I will come home. Right? Let me I think we can make it here. I have some space. I don't know. Let me make this timeline. Okay. This is the timeline in here, right? Okay, this is let me write here present. Okay, sorry. Present. Good. Then let me write here the future. Okay. Right, so we have here present, we have the future. Then we'll try to put these two events in the timeline here, like we have seen in the example above. I'll try to see how we can make it in here. Well, let's take this one. At 4 p.m. I will see the doctor. I will see the doctor at 4 p.m. At 6 p.m. I will come home. I'd like Si Muhammad to open the chat room because I'm having some questions for the students concerning the two examples. What is the first event, or what is the event which is going to be finished before the other one? Okay. So Mimi said, by the time I come home I will have seen. Okay, we'll see this example later on. by the time okay, we'll see the example later on. Just now we have two events. Can you see this is the first event, right? Let me circle it, this one, right? And then let's take the second event, this one. Two events in the future, right? Two events are in the future. What is this one in red, in a red circle? Yeah? What is this one? Is it seeing a doctor or coming home? Seeing a doctor. Okay, the first event is seeing a doctor. The second one is coming back home. Okay, I'm going to write here. I'll try. Okay, so see a doctor. See a doctor. Just see, and it's okay. It's enough, right? And this one is come home. So these are the two events we have. At 4 p.m. I will see a doctor. After that I will okay, here at 4 I will see a doctor, and after that I will come home. So this one is at 4, okay, and the other one is at 6. Hope it's clear. Can you see that on the timeline? Right, good. And here we are talking about the future. As I said, we are not dealing with the past, of course, but all this is about the future. Let me limit the scale, or the scope, sorry. So we are talking about the future in here, right? The first one I said is the event see a doctor at 4. The second one is come at 6. Now we'll try to write the sentence. Now you can suggest the sentences now. I'll try to write here. We say by the time yes, by the time yeah, of course, by the time I see the doctor I will have come home, right? By the time I see the doctor I will have come home. What do you think? By the time I come home I will have seen. Sumi, that is correct. Yes, by the time I come home, comma, I will have seen the doctor. I'll try to make it in here. Okay, yes, sorry, hold on, I'm trying to make it like in here. Great. So okay, great. Mohammed, you can move into the chat room. So here by the time expression is by the time, okay. Then the first event, or the second event, sorry, here I come home, and the first event is this one. I will have seen a doctor. Okay. So by the time I come home, it means when I come home. You can say by the time or when I come home I will have seen the doctor. ضروري كنقول مثلا ملي غادي نجي للدار راه ديجا غادي نكون شفت الدكتور. اوكي يعني will have seen the doctor. هاد لاكسيون هذا غادي يكون فيني، فهمتيني، غادي يكون كمل قبل من هذا. يعني قبل ما نجي للدار مثلا غادي يكون ديجا كنقول مثلا غدا ان شاء الله مثلا مع 6 ملي غادي نكون جيت للدار مع 6 غادي نكون ديجا شفت الدكتور مع الربعة. هذا هو الفيوتشر بيرفكت. اوكي. ولا مثلا كتقول من هنا مثلا لافان ديال اوت غادي نكون ديجا تعلمت مثلا لونغلي، ولا من هنا حتى سبتمبر غادي يكون ديجا تسجلت مثلا في ليكول هادي واش يعني. هذا هو الفيوتشر بيرفكت. يعني كيكون عندك جوج مثلا ديال الافعال ولا دو زاكسيون ولا دو زاكتيفيتي في الفيوتشر، وحده غادي تكون غتكمل قبل من الاخرى. اوكي. ولا غادي يكون عندك مثلا واحد لو فيرب في الفيوتشر وواحد النقطه ديال الزمن في الفيوتشر. يعني مثلا قبل من سبتمبر كيقول مثلا باي نيكست سبتمبر، قبل من سبتمبر غادي يكون ديجا مثلا مشيت لهاد البلاصه هادي، ولا غادي يكون ديجا ساليت الكور ديالي ان سو اون. فهمتيني؟ بحال مثلا اليوم مثلا غتقول مثلا دينا مع 8 غادي نساويو مع 10. غادي تقول مثلا by 10 o'clock I will have finished or I will have had my English virtual class. يعني بحلول 10 غادي نكون ديجا قريت ولا خديت الكور ديال لونغلي. So it means that in case you have two actions in the future, one is going to be finished before the other one. Okay, so you use the future perfect for the first action which is going to be completed before the other one. Or when you have an action in the future and a point of time, right? For example, you have an action and another point of time in here. You can say by next October I will have registered at the university. يعني بحلول شهر 10 غادي نكون ديجا تسجلت في لا فاكولتي. Hope it is clear. I tried to use some Arabic, okay, just for your sake. I hope it was so clear. So by the time I come home, you can see here in this part it means the clause where you use the by the time or when. We don't use the future, we use the simple present. Okay. And in the second clause we use the future perfect. Or we can say I will have seen the doctor by the time I come home without using the count. Well, this is what we worked on. This is the timeline I tried to make myself. Here is the timeline provided in the lesson. This is now, again, 4 p.m. I will see the doctor, 6 p.m. I will come home. A common phrase used with the future perfect is by the time. This is the common phrase, the time expression we use. By the time means before, or by the time is attached to the later second event. Therefore we write by the time I come home. So by the time means before. Okay, before. So we can use before, you can use by the time. We can always use this one. Pay attention to this one. We can use by the time. We can use before. We can use in like 5 weeks time, or in I don't know, in 5 years time, in 2 weeks time, and so on. We can also use because I don't have much space here, we can also use for example here before 2012, right? Then in 5 weeks time, by the time, we can use also by 2013, for example, and so on and so forth. Those are some of the time expressions or time indicators we use with the future perfect. By the time, by 2013, by 2015, and so on, before 2012, before next month, in 5 weeks time, in 5 years time, and so on and so forth. On the day of the exam you will have grammar exercise where you have sentences. And in each sentence, mostly often you will be dealing with the grammar lesson. For example, a sentence about conditional, a sentence about reported speech, sentence about wishes, a sentence about passive voice, a sentence about past perfect, and you will have a sentence about future perfect. When you read in sentence, try to pay attention to these indicators, like by the time. When you have by the time or before or something like this, it's about the future perfect. Here, note that we remove the word will. Yeah, here with the by the time we don't use the future. We use the simple present with this clause. Okay. Let's move on now. We put the first event in the future perfect by adding have or the past participle of the verb. Actually, I think now we put the first event in the future perfect by I should correct something here. Sorry, I should correct something here which is wrong. Sorry, choosing the. Now we put the first event in the future perfect by adding, by using the past participle. There's no have nor has. Okay, we don't have this. Here we have will have. It's just a typing mistake. Instead, there is this one, will have. We have will have, right? Will have plus past participle of the verb, as I said before. Okay, right? So it's will have. Okay, no, this is just a mistake. Just I want to make it like this because it's a mistake. So don't pay attention to that one. Okay, I don't know, something wrong with that one. So anyway, you have to pay attention to this, right? Will have subject plus will have plus past participle. This is how we make the future perfect. Finally, combine these two events. Here we have examples. By the time I come home, I will have seen the doctor. You may also switch these two ideas clauses as follows. You may start with the other part. I will have seen the doctor by the time I come home. Okay? What is the difference? There is a small difference. Which is, what is the difference between this one? Between this sentence, by the time I come home, I will have seen the doctor, and I will have seen doctor by the time I come home. What is the difference? Can you notice the difference between the two sentences? Yes, it's the comma. Here is the comma, right? It's in here. This is the comma. If you start with this one, with the by the time clause or the when clause or before, etc., you put the comma after that. But if you start with the other clause, you don't need to have the comma. Simo will try to have some time. We'll try. If we have time, why not? You may also use the word before instead of the phrase by the time. Yeah, okay, we can use by the time. We can also use before. Before I come home, I will have seen the doctor. By the time I come home, I will see the doctor. Or before I come home. Before or by the time. Well, do you have any questions before we move on to the exercise? This is all for future perfect. We'll try to do with some exercises. J-step, yeah. By the way, J-step, the person here whose name is J-step is from India. Okay, he is from India. Yeah, and welcome to Morocco, Indian guy. Well, last time we talked to each other, and he is a very, very good man. What is your question, J-step? let's go by question, okay? If we don't use will it be a comma? Yeah, if we don't use a comma, okay? You mean if we don't use a comma, will it be a mistake? Yeah, here, in this case, here, if you don't put the comma, it's a mistake, right? Because we are talking about grammar and language. This is how it is. This is the structure. By the time I come home, there should be a comma here, then you go on. If you don't put the comma here, of course it's a mistake. Even the comma is very small, but it's a mistake. Okay. Ilham, so about the expressions, there's also till and until, right? Can you give example with that one? Till and until? The most common expressions are by the time and before and in 5 years and so on. So don't bother yourself with other expressions. Boy, a teacher, okay. Then, are we saying he has been or have been in the future? No, will have been. Will have been. Okay? Will have been plus past participle. Okay? Will have been plus past participle, as we have in here. We don't have has, we don't have have. Okay? Will have, as you can follow with me here, will plus have plus past participle. We don't say will has. No, will have. I will have seen, he will have seen, she will have seen, you will have seen, they will have seen, and so on and so on. So on and so forth. Muna, what is your question? Okay, no, you have a question. Well, if you have a question, you can say it. No, we cannot say he will has. No, this is not correct. This is not correct. Okay. Muna, you can write here in the chat room. You can write a question, or you can raise your hand and use the mic if you have the mic. Iman, please, teacher, can you give a schedule about gerund? A schedule about gerund? Jenny, this is another lesson. It's a very long lesson, and I don't have time. I don't have time today, even today.